So mixing is getting a little bit more complex these days, and it's due to the amount of tracks that we're starting to layer on top of each other. And so it's getting just a little bit harder to define clarity and balance when you've got 100 plus tracks and half of them competing for the same frequencies. But we can overcome this by understanding the technique of unmasking. Unmasking frequencies is going to give us the clarity we need to have a great stereo image that's going to have the impact and energy to produce a great listening experience. Now, to fully understand what unmasking is and how to do it, we've got to identify the masking frequencies first. And by doing that, we've got to listen. Do certain elements sound muffled, buried, dense? If so, we've got some masking issues. And too many times I will see people reach for the volume fader to push that up to make it stick out more, or even worse, add more compression. And worst of all, boosting the mid frequencies on the stereo bus. Don't do that. You just need to find the competing frequencies and adjust them. So that's what we're going to be looking for and listening for in this video. All right, so you can find a lot of different examples that's going to show you frequency masking. But one thing that I do see common here is with vocals or guitars, pianos, a lot of that mid-range stuff, a lot of that middle of the frequency spectrum, all those things that we've got panned up the middle can really start to compete for frequencies. And that's going to cause a lot of masking. That's going to cause us to hear muffled sound, very dense, not spread out enough. That's going to give us that energy that we need in a mix and just that overall pleasant listening experience. So you don't have to have the exact plugins that I'm using, but something that's going to show you a little bit of a visual can help you when first starting out and understanding what masking frequencies are. So I'm going to be using the Pro Q3 here because it's just a digital transparent EQ that's going to show me my frequency range here for each of these that I'm listening to. So for this example, I'm going to be using an acoustic guitar and then a piano. So let's just take a listen to that with these turned off. Okay, so you can see the acoustic guitar is up the middle. I've got that routed to a guitar bus here, so it is panned left and right, but it's still just up the middle, right? So we're just getting the equal amounts in both left and right speaker. But the piano here is a stereo track. It was recorded in stereo, but it doesn't sound too wide. There's no effects on it or anything. There's no room mics. It's just a left and right recorded piano. So we do have some middle frequencies that are competing with each other. And if you were listening, you could tell that. Just everything that kind of sounds like it's coming, you know, same volume, same sound in both left and right. I'll let you listen to that one more time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on these two EQ plugins and let you see what's going on here. All right, so what you may have noticed is that there's a cool little feature in this plugin and a ton of others. But in this particular one, I can add the other EQ that I have. And however many of these you put on in your insert sections, you'll be able to choose. So if you had other ones, then you would have them all listed here. So for the guitars, the main EQ here, what I would be manipulating would be the guitars, but I can also see the piano because I have it selected. Same thing with here. This is the piano, and I have the guitars selected. So I can see where things are getting built up. So look for the overlaps on each of these. And it will also indicate to you where a lot of that masking buildup and the competing frequencies are. Also, I believe Isotope has another really cool feature on that in their overall mixing and mastering suites. That way, I can listen to those things. I can listen to where those frequencies and have a visual, because I'm not going to say that you can't learn mixing without using your eyes. We want to use our ears, but when we are learning things and we have tools that can allow us to see things that we're hearing, I encourage that. So you can see where those competing frequencies are. Now, one other cool thing about this type of plugin is that I've got mid-side EQ options. And what that means is that I can EQ, I can boost or cut my mids, or I can do stereo. I can do left and right. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff here. We're not going to get too in depth with that right now, but what I'm focusing on here are the things that sound muddy up the middle, that are both in my left and right, my stereo image. I feel like I can pull out a little bit of that mid, that competing area of where these two audio tracks are competing. And so that's what I've done here. So I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to activate the mid cut that I have here, and we'll see if that clears things up. And be paying attention to which instrument you hear become more present. So right off the bat, we're opening things up. Which one did you hear get a little bit more clearer? For me, both of them, but kind of pushed out the acoustic guitar a little bit. So the reason for that is because I made room in the middle where the acoustic guitar is present. I've carved out a little bit of room where those competing frequencies were. And now you can hear the guitar where it is supposed to be, where we have placed it in our stereo image. And it's also spread out. It's allowed the piano to sound a little bit more spread out without using any effects, reverbs, room sounds, anything like that. All we've done is a simple EQ move to unmask those elements. And you can do this on all kinds of things. So if you're working with this particular plugin, it's very smart in how it was designed. So I can add one here on my basses. I don't have a group up here, but we can throw one on this bass synth. All right, I like to have that in natural phase. So now, naturally, the bass is up the middle, usually. And so I can see now, let's see, we'll go with the guitar because that's up the middle as well. So what I want to do, what I want to see is the guitar. So I'll go down here and I'll select guitar. So that'll show on the analyzer here. So as you can see, it's even telling us where we've got some masking frequencies. And so let's go ahead and unmask those. I'm going to I'm going to go with the acoustic guitar first to see what that sounds like. That's what I'm going to try to cut out and make room for the bass, because my bass is kind of my anchor. So I want to be able to have that up the middle no matter what. Sometimes if you need to, you can pan the acoustic guitar slightly left, slightly right. And then if you've got a stereo pair, well, you would have that panned left and right anyways. So I'm going to make the decision to keep the bass as present as possible in the middle. And I'm going to see if I can cut out some frequencies with the acoustic guitar. So I'm going to put an EQ point in there. So it looks like in this range right here, maybe 100 to 150 is where I'm having some competing frequencies. So I'm going to pull that out. So you see how the bass almost gets tighter when I pull this out? And this is in stereo. We're not in mid or side. So there you go. They still sound musical. They sound spread out. We don't have anything else on here. There's nothing at all. There's no effects. It's going straight out the main outs. And that is how you unmask frequencies that are competing with each other. And we really just did one move and got two things to sound clear and present. This is a technique that works on any instrument that you have, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on these plugins. I know Waves has a similar setup now of EQ and your digital analyzer. So don't think that you have to break the bank and buy some of these more expensive plugins. Wait for that. Make sure this is something that you really want to do before you start investing that kind of money into it. And if you are looking to dive just a little bit deeper into your overall mixing, mastering, just musical journey type education that's going to help you out in the long run, click on the link in the description. I've got a ton of mixing templates just for you if you're using Pro Tools, Studio One, Logic Pro, or Luna. Those templates are adaptable to work with any plugin that you have. If you open this template and you do not own any of the plugins that I happen to have on it, that's perfectly fine. Those are just the plugins that I like. The mixing template is designed with a special routing system with pre-calibrated parallels. I have a ton of walkthrough videos for you to let you know even how to build it yourself if you don't want to contribute to the channel and purchase that. But you can actually watch these and build them yourself. I've even got videos that show you how to replace the plugins that you don't have with the ones that you do. It's all right there for you. My gift to you. Also, thanks for sticking around this far into the video because I want to tell you about something real special. We're going to be having a really cool members only subscription on a Patreon account, and I'm going to have some really cool things, a few different tiers for you to choose from. We're going to have something that's very basic, that's just, $5 a month to help support this channel so that I can help continue to give people free content and free education. And also a couple of different tiers that is going to allow you to have included templates. That's right. And also one that's going to have all of the courses in there and any future courses. It's going to be one of those more in-depth, I want to take a university style learning experience. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to have links for all of that down in the description if you want to go ahead and get your template. You've got that. I've got courses for sale as well. But I wanted to mention the up and coming soon Patreon membership account for all of you who want to be in that. It is the Sonic Philosophy Patreon account, and I can't wait to see you all in there. I have gotten a ton of great information from you guys who are already on the mailing list. If you want to be a part of that, let me know. Just download one of the free pieces of content that I have. It's my free guides. Any of those will get you on the mailing list to let you know when that new Patreon account will come out. And I can't wait to see you all in there. Y'all have given me a ton of great ideas, a ton of suggestions, things that you want to see. So I really do appreciate all of that. As of right now, I've gotten over 72, I think. So it would take a really long time to individually say thank you to everybody and all of that. But I do want to say right here, thank you for all of your suggestions and things that you want to see in the new membership that is coming soon. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for your continued support, and I will see you all in the next video.